Ni hao. Annyeonghaseyo. Hello. This is Gina, and I want to talk about my fasting that I'm doing again. Yes, I do quit. I do keep quitting and starting over and quitting and starting over, but I still keep starting over, so that's what matters. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April, and I am on day 3 of a 7-day fast. I'm setting my goal for 7 days, although I actually am hoping to make it 21 days. But this new fasting app I have only goes 7 days, and last time I only made it to day 6, so I'm hoping this time 7 days. I don't know if you can see that. Probably not. There we go. Okay. I have to hold it super close. So I'm using the Zero fasting app, which is really, really awesome because it has the countdown. That's how many hours. So I'm officially at 3 days. I started Monday, but then I didn't. My mind wasn't in it. So, but I ate a little bit before 3 o'clock. So I'm counting 3 o'clock as my start. And you can see that I have 119 hours to go, that I've already completed 48 hours. And you can put things in here like how you feel, your mood. It shows you when you started your fast and when it ends. So I find this really awesome because it's going to be a great way to keep myself accountable. And then also I can look and like, okay, so 10 minutes ago, I was still only at 2 days, but then it turned over to 48 hours and hit 3 days. So, and it has this fun little bar that goes around in the circle for each day you complete. So, and I'm a third of the way there. I'm using some accountability groups. There's a water fasting forum accountability group. There's several on Facebook. The ones that I'm part of on Facebook are associated with Dr. Fung and his site, The Fasting Method. And because it is associated with him, you're not allowed to talk about extended water fasting because they recommend you only do an extended water fast beyond 7 days if you're under doctor supervision, and they have no way to be sure that you're under doctor supervision. So unfortunately, it's more, it seems like it's more of like an intermittent fasting group. They do a lot of keto and the low carb, high fat keto, intermittent fasting, alternate day fasting, 1 meal a day, all those little acronyms that I'm getting used to. There are some water fast people in that group. But Dr. Fung recommends using bone broth and putting a little cream or milk in your coffee if you want to or need to. And that just doesn't work for me. I tried that on my first water fast. I was doing a strict water fast, and like I had started reading his book, which is a great book. It's full of science. I love it. I'm just super happy with it. But I originally started my fasting process with this book, The Transformational Power of Fasting by Stephen Harrod Buhner. And the focus of this book I'll get into in a second. Anyway, I had started reading Dr. Fung's book. He has a book on fasting, obesity, diabetes, and a whole website, like I said, The Fasting Method, which is fabulous, full of great science. I mean, he's been doing this for years. He has the credentials behind him, so I tend to really I give him a lot of credibility, and he has a lot of integrity in his work. So I follow him. But he says, if you get hungry, use bone broth and put a little cream in your coffee if you need to. For me personally, I agree with that. I think it's a great idea, but I want to do strict water fasting for a number of reasons. And I found when I started adding a little bit of the bone broth and the cream to my coffee, I became obsessed with drinking coffee all day. So that was not a good thing. And I was just like drinking coffee all day and adding cream into it, and then I would drink tea at night and add cream into it. So I was basically substituting tea or coffee with cream for food. And so, I'm doing all this in part to repair my relationship with my body and food. So that that method does not work for me. Also, I never stopped being hungry. And any time that you put calories in your body, whatever form, it's going to spike your insulin. And when you spike your insulin, you spike your hunger hormones, ghrelin or ghrelin, however it's pronounced, and it increases your hunger. So any kind of calorie content food, even though fat is lower, is going to increase your insulin enough to make you hungry. And that's been my experience, because the last few weeks after I ended my first water fast, I added the broth and the cream into it, and then I was like, the hunger by day 5 was like insane. So I decided to break my fast on day 6. What I've been doing since then, I've been doing the OMAD, 1 meal a day, OMAD, with eating a ketogenic diet. It was hard. Like the first week, I couldn't keep under 20 carbs, 20 grams of carbs. I wasn't managing to do that. It's eating a lot more vegetables. But I was able to eat 1 meal a day with no problem, without much hunger at all. So that was fantastic. And I was doing alternate day fasting. So sometimes I would fast 24 hours, sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little less. And I felt pretty successful on that, but I wasn't feeling any change in my body, change in my mind, my heart, in my emotions, or my spiritual journey. So I knew and I know that water fasting is the thing for me to do to achieve the goals that I want. And so that's why I've started another water fast. And I started one again like last Monday, and like it lasted a day, and said, forget this. It is a little bit of a challenge, because where I'm at, there's a lot of cooking going on. And so it is what it is. Let me continue in the next video.